Hello, my friends. For today's reading, we have the wolf and the tarantula spider. That's very interesting. There's if you don't already know, there is a spider card and a tarantula spider card in this deck. I don't know why there's two different ones, but there are. I've never read for the tarantula before, but here it is. And the tarantula is in the fire element, while the spider is in the earth element. So, and the wolf, of course, is in the earth element. Now, one thing I feel called to bring up is that wolves, we often talk about lone wolves, but wolves are really not loners. They are very, very social creatures, and lone wolves tend to die. So if you are thinking of yourself as a lone wolf, that's not a good choice. Anyway, I don't know why I was feeling called to bring that up, but wolf, guardian of family and tribe, activism and ritual. Interesting. The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being and longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching, religious or political studies. Interesting. I don't know why the teaching is religious or political studies. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following: embrace all, exclude none. So this suggests that wolf energy can be a bit rigid in their thinking, judgmental. When in balance, reliable, democratic, and fearless. When out of balance, judgmental, dominating, and probably fearful. To bring into balance, practice letting go. Now, let's see. Wolf's tarantula people. Oh, tarantula at a crossroad, claiming life's purpose. So, it seems that you have a big decision on your hands, a big change in the course of your life. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking your dream. Yet a voice inside you keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find true happiness, you must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers, patient and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. I am suspecting that you are being called to open your mind and choose the path of tolerance, which may be very, very foreign to you and probably to your upbringing as well. The most interesting thing that's happening right now is that there is a turkey buzzard flying overhead as I'm doing this reading. So yes, I think the old ways for you are dying, have died, and it is time for them to be left behind for the turkey buzzards. All right, well, that's challenging. When in balance, follows intuition. When out of balance, hesitates, over-intellectualizes. To bring into balance, daily journaling. Always a good idea. I highly recommend it to everyone. Okay, now, to help you determine whether or not this is your reading, we have I. Psychic intuition. Trust your intuition. Dog, far away. A distant friend is thinking of you. So perhaps somebody is sending you supportive thoughts, which actually they have done studies. Prayer works. People who don't know anything about somebody can pray for them and still help them without ever having any contact with them at all. It's an interesting thing, isn't it? Interesting. Okay. Wishbone. A wish is granted. Recognition, reward for merit. So perhaps you've been working hard towards something, and you are about to be rewarded for it. It's certainly what it looks like. As far as this, wow, these are really lining up interestingly. So we have psychic intuition and a distant friend thinking of you. I suspect you have a psychic connection with someone. Maybe it's one of those kinds of friendships where one of you thinks of the other and the phone rings and it's your friend on the line, or vice versa. Okay, then we have, as I said, a wish being granted, a reward for merit. So you have been working on something, and in some way you will be rewarded. But finally, we end up with disappointment in some affair and great passion. Now, great passion is not really clear. Neither is this. Because, you can be passionate about any number of things. If you know a golfer, you know what I'm talking about. So, it looks like this thing that you are very passionate about, or have been very passionate about, there's some disappointment connected to it. So, for those of you who don't know, these tea leaf cards, the round ones, are here to help you decide whether or not this is your reading. And these two are your significators, which also help you decide whether or not this is your reading. But now, let's get to the question of why are you here? What are you hoping for from this reading? What is the main issue you want to address? Well, your reading the tea leaves are pretty positive, but this was a little challenging, yes. Compliments from an admirer and forces working against you. If you're going from this to that, no wonder you're going to feel like forces are working against you. The compliments from an admirer, though, what does that have to do with forces working against you? Pay attention to your finances. I wonder if this, if somebody's trying to snow you. If somebody's trying to manipulate you, maybe, in order to get money from you. Or maybe you're starting to see it that way, or wondering if that's what's going on. Control your anger or you will be sorry. Okay. So it seems there is a problem with anger management, perhaps. But it says you will overcome your problems. And then we have November. So either November has been significant in the past, or it will be again in the future, or both. But you also have the kangaroo. Unsettled times, need to plan ahead. So you are really feeling very unsettled. And that may be leading to you to being a bit more reactive than is probably healthy. If there's somebody untrustworthy around you, you will be having anger problems. Because, especially if you don't consciously recognize that they make you feel unsafe. It will make your body will be reacting. And your conscious mind may be saying, what? There's nothing going on here. Everything's fine. But if your body is feeling anxious around this person, it's going to make you feel very unsettled, and it may make you prone to outbursts, especially if you are being mistreated in some way. Manipulated, perhaps. I don't know. But the body does react to people. And if you ignore your body's signals, things are going to get worse. It's going to be very hard to control any anger if you are ignoring what your body is trying to tell you, if you aren't acting on what your body is trying to tell you. So my first advice, I mean, the journaling is a fantastic idea. You should absolutely, positively be journaling. But you should also be journaling about your body's reactions to people, places, events, if you don't already have good body awareness. And yes, body awareness is very much part of self-cultivation. It can be the beginning of self-cultivation. That's how it worked for me. I started with body awareness. I did not start with mental, emotional, psychological awareness. I started with body awareness. And that can be very, very productive. So, of course, I recommend Tai Chi and Qigong. Yoga, of course, is very good. If you can find a good martial arts school, that could be good. You want an instructor that is more focused on the mental benefits than on violence. But that's... Martial arts are really not about violence, no matter how many times people say that. They do not promote violence, and they help you to control anger. They do not promote anger. I can't believe I've heard people say that. They're like, oh no, if you teach someone with anger issues about martial arts, then they'll be worse when they get angry. No, they'll be more in control, so they don't do stupid things when they get angry. But yes, that is definitely one path to self-cultivation. But don't follow any of my recommendations if they don't suit you, if they don't fit. Find your own way. Except for the journaling. Journaling suits everyone. That's my bias, I guess. Maybe somebody will tell you that doesn't work. Oh, you don't have to journal by writing, okay? There's, I think the book is called The Artist's Way. It's about journaling through art, through drawing or painting or something like that. So when I say journal, yes, I think everybody should journal, but journal in a way that works for you. Okay, just like you need to find physical practices that work for you. And physical practices should promote body awareness and health and flexibility. So if you are involved in something that is physical, but it is not promoting body awareness, it is not promoting your health, it is not promoting flexibility, then it is not. So it does not fit into the category of self-cultivation. Because in the long run, it will not be good for you. Okay, now then. Wow, that's unexpected. Okay. Let's see what the universe wants to say to you. Wow. Okay. Here's the really weird part. I accidentally started to shuffle these cards. I picked up these cards and I started to shuffle them before I did your tea leaf cards. I was like, what? Wait a minute. That's not... I don't do that now. I do the other cards now. This is the card that fell out. It's the only card that fell out before I said, wait a minute, and went and got the right deck of cards. So, apparently you are really, really supposed to get this message. Double rainbow, divine intervention, ascension, perfect timing, serendipity, promises kept, duality, as above, so below. All right, so there definitely is a need for consistency everywhere in your life, internally, externally. materially, physically, emotionally, mentally. Okay, well, this is really consistent with these two cards. You have Scythe, the end, cut, release, harvest, liberate. Remember, this was a lot of talk here with this wolf about, well, basically groupthink. She didn't put it that way, but you know, you grow up in your group, in your tribe, and you are trained, programs to believe a certain way and to not believe in, not consider, not value others, or that can happen. And you're being called to change that. You have this Crossroads card. So you're being called to make a radical change in your life, probably to walk away from many of the beliefs in your tribe, which will have a profound impact on your relationships with your tribe, your community. So this is family and friends, your social group. And they have been probably dogmatic, lots of tradition, lots of programming, or quite conservative, at least in the U.S. sense of the word. And you're being called to let that go, to let that way of thinking, a way of being go. So here we have the keys, a change of heart, new opportunities, freedom, hidden knowledge, multiple choices, transition, new beginnings. So, wow. Yeah. Wow. You are really in the midst of it. So we have another card of new beginnings. It's going to result in fertility of a different sort. I don't think it's going to result in children, okay? I think it's going to result in a completely different way of seeing the world, of opportunities. It's going to feel like a leap of faith. It's a sudden change in direction. So here we go, you know. So no more of this dogmatic stuff. You're being called to see things, do things a different way. Moving on. It'll bring prosperity. Not necessarily physical prosperity, but you are going to be alone for a while. Separation, estranged, lonely, independent. It's a process. You are evolving. Your connection to the divine in whatever form you believe in it will increase, will grow stronger. What is the red herring? Interesting. I need more information on that one. What is the red herring? What is the red herring? What is the red herring? Tell me about the red herring. I think you've gotten some bad information. It's not it really felt like good information at the time. It felt like something that had been hidden from you. Something new and different, but something that brought movement into your life. Doesn't necessarily mean it. Did it really bring you in a new direction, though? That's my question. If it's a red herring, it may not have, it may have given the appearance of, I think it gave the appearance of being something useful and healthy and productive and revolutionary, and yet not. What you need is effective communication. You need to take determined action. You need strength and persistence, and you need to take small steps. Not sail off following the red herring. You did get another card of collaboration. All right, this is, I think we've gone as far as we need to with that. Maybe tarot would have been better for that. Well, anyway. What do you need to know now? What do you need to know now? No, I'm going to go with tarot. It's time. And I'm going with the Crouch Arrow. Oops. Oh my goodness. All right. In case you're wondering, we've got the King of Wands and the World on top. King of Wands is in reverse. King of Wands in reverse is all about being selfish, domineering, impatient, judgmental. Very, 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 very selfish. And then we have the World. The World is a card of success, but also integration, change, moving on, a new chapter. Well, the new chapter isn't yet. This is more like the space between. But in any case, what do you need to know now? Or what you should be looking at now? And we have the Seven of Wands. In reverse. So, Seven of Wands can be good boundaries. Knight of Swords. A bit impulsive, hasty. They try to act with integrity, but they don't stop to think things through. Kind of in a hurry. Not a planner. Emperor, that's interesting. The Emperor, on the other hand, is someone who has a lot of self-control, self-discipline, is consistent, fair-minded, authentic, leads through example, not force. Then we have the Devil card underneath, underlying all of this, but it is in a crossing position. So it may be that you have been battling bad habits, vices, addictions, the sense of being bound, a sense of persecution, perhaps. And whatever boundaries you've had have not quite done the job. They've either been non-existent or been used inappropriately. Perhaps you throw them up at the drop of a hat and don't bother to find out what's really going on in the situation, which would be a Knight of Swords kind of thing to do. But it looks like you're moving more into this Emperor kind of energy. So someone who is internally and externally consistent. Someone who is authentic, someone who understands themselves and is willing to look out for others. Someone who is mastering their impulses, especially their self-destructive ones. That's a big crossroads. All right. Anything else we need to talk about here? I feel like calling on my herbarium cards. No, that's not really what they're called. I just call them that because, I don't know, I like to. All right. What do the herbs, the plants have to say to you? Perhaps we got seed here too. Maybe plants are important to you. Cyclicality. We have elderberry. They're good for the immune system. And the birds absolutely love them. I have elderberries growing in my yard. I don't get to harvest them much because the birds get there first. All right. Elderberry traditionally lives at the center of the garden, telling stories of winters past and springs yet to come. Though often scraggly and a questionable centerpiece, her three faces embody the goddess. Maiden in the spring, abundant with white petals. Mother in the summer, with wine-red berries adorning her branches. Mine are black. And crone in autumn, when her leaves are falling away. She looks quite dead in winter, all bare branches and hollow bones. Elderberry's yearly evolution teaches you to dance with the closely twined cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Wherever you are in your life, she reminds you that acceptance of life's cyclicality is the key to earning your spot at the garden center. So perhaps that's what you need to remember right now, is that wherever you're at right now, it will change. So, growth is life, honestly. If you're not growing, what's the point of living? And everyone has the potential to grow. I am wishing you all the best. It looks like you are going through a great deal of growth, have been going through a great deal of growth. Keep going. Honestly, I think the red herring is some crap you got into on the internet. You got some bad information somewhere. I hope you find your way out of that mess. Maybe you already have. After all, you got the Emperor here. You may have leapt into that very quickly, and now you have the Emperor saying, wait a minute. There's no consistency here. So your body is a good source of information, as well as perhaps the things you are trying to conquer. Does something increase your bad or negative behaviors, or does it make them better? And as always, remember, things will change. They're supposed to. I'm wishing you all the best.